If you're not already my friend on Facebook, if we haven't met before, let me introduce myself. My name is Rochelle Dixon, and I am vegan with spice. So I'm going to do this video, which is my very first video. So thank you so much for joining me. This is going to be an adventure since this is live. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope that you'll subscribe to my YouTube channel where I'll be posting videos on a weekly basis. For the next week or so, I think I'll probably get in 2 or 3 because I want to talk about a lot of things. And this video was not one I intended to do. This video just came about as a result of going through YouTube and watching other people's videos, and then participating in some Zoom conferences and Zoom videos. So one of the things that I've been noticing as I participate in Zoom conferences is the backdrop. Have you guys been peeping the backdrops on folks' homes as they do these videos? So it's been really interesting to peek inside folks' home. But some of us have a love for living things, and that would be moi. And as I tune into the videos, I'm struck by the dying and dead plants that I'm forced to watch as I go through these Zoom videos. So I want to share with you how to not kill your plants, because I think this is necessary, judging by the number of plants I've seen dead on Zoom videos. Some of the videos I've been watching haven't been on plants. They've just been on work life. They've been on education. They've been hair videos. As you can see, I need the hair videos. Got some hair struggles going on. But my channel on YouTube, Vegan with Spice, is going to be about everything plant-based. So I'm mainly going to do a lot of food videos. So tune in for the foodie videos, but stay for all of the information that I'm going to provide, because it'll touch on a lot of things. Whether you're vegan or not, you'll want some of this information. So today, again, I'm going to talk about how to not kill your plants. So when I say how to not kill your plants, you might notice that my plants are not dead. These are only part of my plants. So I'm going to point out a couple of them to you that are nice. So over here, this is a pothos. This is a pothos here. It's a variegated leaf pothos. Down here is another pothos that I started, and I clipped off and propagated that one, which I'll show you how to do at a later time. This is a Chinese money tree, because we need some of that positivity in here. Very important in feng shui to have a money tree. So I have that. And over here, if you want to look, this is a palm, also called a parlor palm. And this is an aloe. Right behind the aloe, I don't know if you can see that, is a spider plant. It hasn't had to have babies yet. It's not to that point. This here is something I'm waiting to repot. It is also a variegated golden pothos. And over here, we also have another palm. You might be familiar, this little baby, I just repotted it because it was dying. So we have a little succulent right here. So there are other plants. I have a monstera, jade. I'm going to show you what death looks like, though, in plant form. What I've been looking at on video. So here we go. You ready for the gory destruction here? Trigger warning, trigger warning. Okay. So I'm going to start out with one of the ones that, man, you're going to know what's wrong with this one right away. So this is a yucca plant. It's got all the little, you can see these indoors, outdoors, native to South America and the Americas. Little brown tip there. It's actually doing quite well because it's drought tolerant. This is going to get a little messy here. I want you to look at this soil. I'm going to put this way up there. I want you to notice that this little, no, this is coffee grounds that I put on there when I noticed it was dying. But there's basically no soil in here. What you see is a bunch of roots. I could pull it all up, but I don't want to pull it all up. Some of the roots are dying. Okay, here's the problem, folks. Now there's root bound, and then there's this. What the heck? This should have been out of this pot a long time ago. So this has to be repotted. I do have soil to repot this, and I'm going to repot this. Otherwise, it's done miraculously well for the amount of abuse that it has suffered. Okay, so folks will say if you're getting plants, get things that won't die. Cactus is a good one that won't die. Not true. You can kill anything. Okay, this is not my plant. This was in the office. I did not kill this plant. This was a cactus. There's no coming back for this baby. It's just done. It's crispy. It hasn't received any water. I tried watering it when I thought it might make it. It's not going to make it. It's done. I will take the soil, shake off the roots, and redo something with it. Okay, here's another one that was neglected. This has been neglected for a while. This is in the succulent family. And once again, you see the roots hanging out of the pot? Right there. You see that? That's the roots hanging out of the pot. Should have been repotted a long time ago, okay? I hope you guys don't need therapy after watching all these plants. Because I do need therapy watching these plants die. Okay. Here's another one I think I can bring back to life. So I've been soaking it in water, trying to, this is what I mean. This is also a succulent, you see. Now what happened here with this succulent is you need three things for plants to grow. And one of them is water, one of them is sunlight, and the other is nutrition. Now we know succulents and cactus don't require a lot of nutrition. They're made for the desert. But what happened here is this poor little plant started reaching for the light. It was kept in the dark and it started reaching for the light. And as it reached for the light, it kept growing and growing. There's another little one in there. This one can be saved. It's still got some green on it. It hasn't mildewed because it wasn't watered. So that one can be saved. Same thing over here. Another succulent that just grew, reaching for the light, couldn't find the light. Photosynthesis means it's going to crook and turn its neck and whatever. And you see the little babies on it? Some are falling off. You see the little babies on it? It really tried hard. So it's still alive. I can repot that and fix that. It'll be months before these plants come back. So because it's summer, it'll be a little faster. It'll be a couple months. So June, July, August, maybe I'll update in 30 or 60 days. Okay, look at this. This is the cactus. Remember the plants you can't kill? It's dead. This is crispy. It's not coming back. It's just gone. Goner. Okay. Look at this one. This is another plant that people say you can't kill. I've been watching this one die and kind of helping it out a little bit. This one I'm not going to repot because it's traumatized. Because it's in a big enough pot, I did add some fertilizer to it to give it some nutrition. I moved it into a space where it can get appropriate sun, and I've watered it. So now it's just a waiting game. I'll wait till it's stronger and then repot it. So this is what you do when you're a frustrated farmer and you can't get outside too much. You spend your time inside. But don't worry, I'm going to the farm. Okay, so here is one that has a little bit of abuse, and we can tell that because we got crispy leaves. See, these are dead. The crispy leaves are dead. And I did water it. And this one is going to be okay. I'm going to put it in the light. Not going to change the potting soil right now. I'm going to give it a little time to heal, about a month, and then I'm going to give it some fertilizer. Now, why not give it the fertilizer when it is healing? Well, because it traumatizes the plant more. So you don't need it to be in a growth period and a healing period. You can't do both. You can only heal or grow. And so right now it just needs to heal. 2 weeks to a month of watering it and giving it proper light. I've already watered it. 2 weeks from now, I could check on it and see if I want to go ahead and remove it from its pot. Again, it is starting to spread out. It's looking for light. This one actually does spread out like this a little bit. Now you see this? You see that little browning there? It's starting to rot a little bit, but it's still It's still salvageable. Okay, we have one more, which is very much like the other one. And this one, as you can see, is not doing as well. Look, I just amputated a leg. That was an accident, but I am going to rehab this. So I would remove all the crispy little things. This has been dying for a while. I have watered this. And so I will go ahead and make a new plant from the bottom leaves and repot this about here. So I'm not going to do that online today. I'll come back and do that and then let you see the results of it about 30 days and about 60 days in. Because remember, I'm primarily involved with cooking and plant life, but man, watching these plants die online was terrible. So this looks like it has roots, but I want to tell you something. If you ever see this and you get excited because you think you're going to be able to replant this, no, you won't. So what happens with a succulent is if you lay it on soil, so if this is the soil, and you wet the soil and you put it in sun, it will grow another cactus. Right now, this is growing roots because it didn't have the proper environment for the cactus. It will never be another cactus plant just because it has these roots. It actually should grow another cactus. Okay, so I'm going to put this aside. I've got a couple more plants I'm going to show you, and then we're going to talk about how not to kill them. So here we go. This is a jade. It is not dead. I did notice some signs of deterioration, and so I went ahead and watered it. For example, I'm going to pull this one off. Oh, maybe I can't. Okay, so it doesn't want to come off. But it's got a little bit of a wrinkly pattern on the bottom, so that was signs that it was time to get repotted. Jades don't need to be repotted that often, so I mean like every 5 years. So I'm going to go up 2 inches in the pot, and it'll grow into the pot a little bit, and I'm going to add a fertilizer specifically for jade plants. Let me put that down. So now, how not to kill your plants. So we've seen a lot of dead plants already. What are we going to do about it? Number one, how do you kill your plants? Number one, there's so many different ways. Let's just name the ways. Water. 2 ways to kill your plants with water. Overwater it or underwater it. Before we were stuck in our houses, we were underwatering our plants for the most part. We were underwatering them and then passing by them one day and going, oh, we forgot the water, and then dousing them in massive amounts of water and letting the roots sit in the water until they got to root rot, then tossing the plant anyway. So I'm going to talk to you about how to water your plants. So one of the common ways we say to water your plant is to stick your finger in there and see if the plant is wet or dry. I am not going to recommend that method for somebody just learning about plants. And the reason is you may not know the different requirements of that plant, but I'm going to help you out with that too. And it may be difficult. So I'm going to suggest that you get a meter to register how much water is in the plant. And I'll show you the meter when I water some of these plants and show you what they look like in the second video. So I'll give you an example. If I were to stick my finger in this plant, it would say there's enough water. It's wet on the surface. Great. If I were to stick my finger in this plant, which is a jade, I would say, oh, it's really dry. The soil is really crumbly. I should water this plant. Actually, that would not be the case. This is a jade. It doesn't require much water. So if I'm going to just look at the soil, the top of the soil, and say that that means I need to water it, I'm going to be wrong with the succulents and the cactus. So this is a type of a succulent. They don't need much water. So I'm going to suggest that if you're doing anything other than a succulent or a cactus, the finger method works to a degree, and you can use it for now. But if you don't want to kill your plants and you want to become a really... Hello, how are you? Welcome. So if you're not already my friend on Facebook, if we haven't met before, let me introduce myself. My name is Rochelle Dixon, and I am vegan with spice. So I'm going to do this video, which is my very first video. So thank you so much for joining me. This is going to be an adventure since this is live. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope that you'll subscribe to my YouTube channel where I'll be posting videos on a weekly basis. For the next week or so, I think I'll probably get in 2 or 3 because I want to talk about a lot of things. And this video was not one I intended to do. This video just came about as a result of going through YouTube and watching other people's videos and then participating in some Zoom conferences and Zoom videos.